get the time it goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared? I am you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigation. I hope everybody's doing all right tonight, and I hope at least we do not have a lag tonight. That is one of the things that I seem to fight the most. We'll check that in just a second. As soon as we get Jesse on here, if I do, I'll just do a switcheroo and get everything changed around, and we will definitely get that took care of if we do tonight because it absolutely drives me absolutely bonkers. Um, we have tonight we have two encounters tonight that we're actually going to go and break down. One I took by phone, the other one is by email, so should be really good. One of them I'm not going to say is a good one. One of them I think is going to be more of a kind of tell you what you need to watch and what you need not do when you're in the woods. It's definitely would not be called a good one. I'm going to go ahead and bring Jesse on here. That way we can check and see if I have a lag and what the lag is like tonight.
Hello. I'm sure you have a lag.
Is it feeling like I have a lag?
Probably. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell when it's just you and I talking.
I'm sure I probably do. If I end up having a lag, what we will do is I will just switch over.
Okie dokie do.
Nothing we can't handle. Thank you for that, Tim. Tim Wrestler, thank you for the membership. Then I want to thank Larry Fisher at the beginning for his donation. And I also want to thank PC for the donation at the beginning of the stream. So thank you guys. We appreciate that. God bless you guys.
Yes. God bless you.
And as always, if you guys need any roofing concerns or if you have any damage in all these storms that's going across, get a hold of Larry. I couldn't get his thing to load up. Let me try one more time to see if I can get it to work. His information, and as always, Jesse or I will also have his information if you need it.
Mhm.
Let me try one more time. For some reason, I don't know. It likes to fight me.
I've been having a lot of computer problems today too, but hey. Thank you, Christy.
It just feels like it doesn't do it until you decide to go live.
Yeah. Isn't that like kind of Murphy's Law?
Or if it's some
It's going to go wrong. It'll
yeah,
go
or
wrong
if
at
it's
the worst
something
possible
important.
time.
Always. I'm having a feeling that I'm probably going to have to switch over to my cell phone. Is the feeling I'm having right now.
Maybe.
Because I think I do have a lag.
Woohoo, there it is.
There it is. You can get a hold of Larry right there, guys, for all of your roofing needs. He will be able to help you. He will help you with your insurance and everything. He knows how to do it all. So let me get right here. I don't know why it did that. It's my back screen stuff. It all jumped right back to my media for some reason. I have no idea why it done that. Hello, Don. How you doing? Good to see you. He says we sound good on his end, so who knows? We might get by with it.
We'll see.
I'll do a roll call real quick.
You're breaking up.
Hello, Dawn. Hello, Margie. Hello, Jason. Hello, CRJ. Hello, it's Sabrina. Hey, I is. She dropped the E on us.
She's not in mode anymore.
She's not in the mode?
Nope, she's just the mod.
What is she doing?
Keeping you on your toes.
I don't know. You never know what she's doing. I'm going to go ahead, guys. We got OCSTs joining us tonight. They've came in to help us with the breakdown. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on the show. That way we can find out just how much of a lag I got and where I'm at. And if I have to jump off, then they can keep you entertained with Jesse.
Hello.
Hello.
How
are you guys?
A little tired.
Tired as hell.
Yeah. I feel
It starts to feel like you live on here, don't it?
Pretty
Sometimes.
much.
You know, I had been working out in the yard all day today, And about noon, I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't take it anymore. So I came in to take a shower, and I'm like, I'm going to take a nap. If I oversleep, make sure somebody calls me so I don't oversleep for the show tonight. Did I get my nap? No.
Nope.
No.
No.
It's my favorite OC. Hi, Sabrina.
OCD in the house.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I think you lost your Buddha nickname. I think you are now OCD.
Yeah. OCD.
I don't think
Cornbread,
I don't.
cornbread Jiffy Pop and OCD.
I wish that was the case, but he really isn't. No. Nah,
People's gonna wonder what is going on. What are these people doing?
no. This is what happens when Christy is tired. She acts nuts. Kind
Hey,
of like last night.
I hear you. I had to throw all this together last minute today. I actually done the interview at about 4:30, 4:45,
Oh, wow.
and then turned this into So you can probably imagine I've been pushing.
Yeah.
You know what happens when you push, right? Things show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't remind me.
And
Three
then
people
and,
can
and,
see.
and then it costs and then it costs you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoever said 18 it's over is the liar.
Right?
Actually, I think life just begins at 18, not so much, whatever.
See, and
Yeah,
then
for them.
mine,
I think that's when ours.
yeah, and then mine turns what? 20, and then I gained one? How the heck did that happen?
Wait a second. Mine's not even 20, and I've already gained one. And my other one's 22. Just turned 22 yesterday, right? Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, 22, and I might be gaining another one. How the hell does this even happen?
Yeah, it would be fine if she had her own
18
place.
is whenever
Oh.
they start to live.
What cornbread?
I think 18 is whenever they start to live and we start to die.
That
Yeah.
I've been buying for a few years, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to switch to my phone. Yeah, I'm going to switch, guys. I have a huge lag. Let me switch.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Good idea.
Jess, did you curl your hair? Or is it natural?
No, this is natural.
OMG, I love it.
Thanks.
Beautiful Maximus, girlfriend. I bet you
Thanks.
hate it, though.
I've learned to live with it. I hated it when I was a kid,
Yeah.
but that was the 80s too. So
Oh,
I couldn't just put like stuff in it and be good. No, my mom had to brush it out, so the curls would just be like.
Yep.
yeah. I remember kind of the 80s style. I was born in 80, so you have to remember I was growing up in that era. It was mostly the 90s that I lived wild and free, I guess you would say.
Yeah, no, I deal with it. I change it up, so it's all good.
Yeah. I'm thinking that.
Yeah, hair metal, big hair. Yep.
Mhm.
Did you ever have the long big hair in the 80s?
No, my sisters did.
You didn't have the poof? Because
I don't know,
I knew he had
No,
long hair.
I didn't
so-
have long hair till the 90s.
Oh, you had long hair in the 90s. See?
I was gonna say he kind of gave that look like, no, did you wear a mullet? Tell me you
No.
were one of those mullet wearers.
Well, I had my hair long, but I had it shaved underneath.
Oh, okay.
I wish he would grow his hair out long now, but he won't.
Mm-mm. I don't want to look like Ben Franklin.
Or Albert Einstein, just have it
Mm.
sticking up all over the place.
Oh yeah,
It already does that.
I could grow. it
Oh,
long
come
and
on,
do
take the
that.
hat off. I gotta see that.
Frizz it up,
Big bad on
Yeah.
him.
bald, blind everybody.
What? Bold is beautiful. Stop.
You know, I do have to say, when it gets to a certain point, and it's just my opinion, when guys start to lose their hair to a certain point, there's no point in actually doing like the whole try and comb over. Just shave it. I think it looks so much better.
Well, he actually needs a haircut right now, believe it
Yeah.
or not. But
Yeah,
Well, not all of us can afford hair plugs.
that's true. Hair plugs are
What a-
expensive.
yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Hi,
I guess
everybody.
y'all. Oh,
Hi, guys.
there's the old man.
Hey, Bubba. How's it
Hello.
going?
Hello, Connor.
Hi, Jess. How's it going?
Good.
Okay, go away. Don't go away mad. Just go away.
Go away when you come back. Bring money or
You know
food.
you have to be nice to yeah.
Dude, I had the money I would. Shit.
Did you
You
hear
know
him?
Yes.
you know you're supposed to be nice to him all month because it's birthday month. So it's
Oh.
not just birthday day. It's gotta be it's birthday month.
I'm screwed. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, I got to spend the night, or not spend the night, but got to go over to my girlfriend's and hang out for a pretty decent amount of time.
Well,
Good.
I didn't
Good
get home
song.
until like 2:30 yesterday this morning.
Good
Yeah.
song. Which song did I reference?
Then we're gonna lose him for a week. He's gonna be.
Oh my goodness, Larry. Wow.
What is-
Thank you.
No, Larry. Thank you, man. That's too much, Larry. We appreciate that. God bless you, but you do plenty, man.
Wow, yeah.
That was
Larry.
sweet.
Yeah.
Larry's the rock star tonight. Shall we hashtag that?
Larry the rock star. There you go.
There we go. I'm trying to figure out how to use the phone. You know, I'm having to use the phone tonight, so we'll see how that works. My chat disappeared, so
Uh-oh.
I paid my shingles by
I'm not sure what happened.
Great content. Aww.
You're so sweet, Larry.
Oh, awesome, Jess. That's cool. Yeah, I love that. I second that. I'm gonna hashtag it too. Hang on. Let me get there. Oops.
I don't even know what happened here. It just went straight correct.
Uh oh. He just kicked himself
Great.
out. Well then,
It is abnormal.
this is true. Very true. Hi, Pig Pixie.
Hey, Pink. Harold dropped his links in his
On the Facebook group page.
that today.
All right, Jess, it's up to you tonight to watch the chat. I have no chat for some reason, so yeah. I can see like one person at a time. So, so if I
The only thing that stinks though is I can't put anybody up there. So
I know I can't either. It's going to be one of those nights. Just one of those nights.
see,
Larry,
now
thank you so
telling me-
much for that.
She's asking if it's the same name.
See, now you're telling me to be distracted because now I'm
Yes.
supposed to be watching chat.
Well,
Hello, Peter.
let's see if this makes a difference if we turn the phone.
Oh.
I don't know that it will.
Now you're tiny.
Is that better?
Sure. Does it work?
Well, I can see more of the chat. So let's try that.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Your caps lock some.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way I can see all of Harold. I know if he's sneaking something in on me now.
Sure. We're sneaking stuff in.
PC
Nah.
says turn it back.
Harold wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
He has to put up with CRJ all day.
I know, right? It's a chore. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I
But
am
yeah,
a-
Larry. Yeah, Larry, thank you so much for that. Like I said, that's too much. You do enough, man. Just like, watching the show and hitting the like button. That's all, We appreciate that, though.
Yeah.
Silver Bullet is eating barbecue ribs. Not
Yeah.
there. Hi, Silver Bullet.
Isn't that nice of them?
I was trying to eat my flautas, but I didn't get to finish those.
Your flautas?
Yeah, I got chicken flautas.
Mm.
Must be a northern thing.
No, it's a Mexican thing.
Oh,
She
About
just
as make-
she said it sounded different.
about as Mexican as I get is enchiladas and tacos.
Oh no, I love flautas. Flautas are like they're like taquitos, and then they just put all the fixings right on top.
Ooh.
Oh, well, you should have just said smothered taquitos, and I would have known what you was talking about.
They're not taquitos, they're flautas.
So, Jess, who do we got on the prayer list tonight before we start kicking off everything?
All right, as always, everybody, please keep in your prayers Connie, Letitia and Barton Nunley, Lisa Ann's sister Carolyn, prayers for Cubot, prayers for Randy, and please also keep in your prayers Tony Merkel and his wife Lindsay Merkel as she is going through cancer treatment.
Oh, cancer sucks.
Sure does.
You can do chat.
I can deal with the chat. Shoot, I'll be doing it right here. I ain't gonna miss this one.
It's definitely a very evil disease. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, I was very evil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is very evil. Guys, I got something pretty cool I was going to announce tonight, and I didn't find out till just a little bit ago. So all of our Boots on the Ground family out there are going to be very, very happy about this, and I'm very excited about this. If the water recedes enough, which we got like 4 days of rain coming, but if the water recedes enough, I have been given a place that a family, since the flood water has started happening, they have been having a window peeker, right?
Uh-oh.
And the window peeker is something they have never even heard of. Now, these people believe in Bigfoot. They were born and raised in my area. So Bigfoot is a known thing around here, so not such a big deal. The werewolf is still kind of controversial around here, the dog man and stuff. People still kind of, they think that, a lot of people think that it's, it's a Bigfoot that people are thinking is a dog, it's still controversial. So what these people are seeing is even more controversial. Hello, Phyllis. What they're seeing is something green with yellow eyes and scales looking in their windows, like something's came from the lake.
Sorry.
Gee, that sounds like something that you've run into a couple of times.
Not very often, but I've had just very few. But yeah, I have had a couple of encounters with something like that.
Hey, Mike, I'm going to talk to Medicine Bear Claw because she's been talking about, she's been meeting with her elders and elders from other tribes, and they've been discussing that kind of creature that they've been seeing it all over the United States and in Canada.
I wonder what is going on.
Well, and I emailed the other day because of same stuff that's going on with you. Yeah, stuff is crazy lately.
It's like there's new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
But it's not new.
It's I was just gonna say it.
It's just
Yeah,
more.
I'll find out from her if she can talk about her.
Yeah, yeah.
What was is it the Loveland Frog Monster or whatever? Loveland Frogman? That's an older story too, and that's like a reptilian amphibian thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was crazy the first time I heard it.
Well, a buddy of mine, he has a picture of one of them that he actually got up close, and it looks like you know how the puppets in Fraggle Rock look.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It looks like that up close, kind of, but without the frilly on top. Yeah, it has the lizard eyes, and then a slit for a mouth, and then 2 little slits for the nostrils.
Yeah.
Right.
Lizard people. Oh, see, like, look at, I wore my good shirt today. See, lizard people.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Goodness.
And Nick, we're going to get to the story in just a little bit. This is always a part of the show where we kind of pass on information and let everybody know what we're kind of doing and what we're looking at. So hold on and I'll tell a story. But yeah.
Sorry. Just-
But yeah, that's one of the things. And the cool thing, Harold, I'm really excited about is they told me that when I come to their property, this is not like a hit or miss thing. They're seeing it quite often, so I got a good chance of catching something on my IR camera. So I'm hoping to be able to catch it. I think that would be really awesome. Of course, I don't know that I want something as close as I had last time.
Better watch what you. Yeah. Don't turn the camera backwards this time. You won't catch it.
No, it's
Yeah.
probably a good thing you did.
It probably is. To all the Patreon and YouTube members on the channel, YouTube members, you have a video release today. So if you haven't seen it, members only, you all have a members only video today. And Patreon members, you have a release of photos that you want to go check out. So that is for you guys, for the support you give us. Bernard James, thank you so very much for that. God bless you for that. But yeah, I done a lot of work today for our members. That way they would all have the extra content and everything that they do for us. Also, I try to give them a little bit, much as I can. It takes a lot of time, as I guess everybody knows. Harold knows now. He's getting a good dose of it. You live on these things once you start doing this. And the live part of the show is actually, believe it or not, it's the easiest part for me. It's the preparation and getting everything together, and the investigating that's the hardest.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a hard enough time just making videos and not having a live show. All those hours of footage putting together.
Yeah, we still have to finish the one for 89ers yet.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It never ends. Everybody's asking me about Squatch Camp. I've been talking to Jesse about that. Squatch Camp is going to depend a lot on where I'm at with Hunter and if he's home or what's going on and everything. But I will say this. I would like to do that. So it is definitely been looked at very seriously at trying to get that done. Maybe we can get Jesse down here and get the women to cook for all the men. I don't know, something like that. But
You don't want me cooking. You don't want me cooking.
No. If I go to Squatch Camp, this person ain't cooking shit.
You know what I cook when I go camping? Pudgy pie. Bread, pudgy pie maker. Right in the fire.
well, I thought the women could do all the cooking and the men could kind of kick back, talk about the cryptids, and do a little fishing.
I was going to say, I'm going to go fishing. Don't think you. No.
I haven't been fishing in years. I'm going fishing.
Right?
AI mod said
If I
the
could
men
do
can do the
something
cooking.
Right now, you would be number one.
Yeah, instead, I'll be cooking flautas. Probably.
I'm doing it nice.
I'm sure we'd have plenty of people that would volunteer to help cook.
Yes. Sharon Guy is busy tonight too. I think she's having to bounce around quite a bit. And then another question I got this week, guys, was when is my book about my grannies going to be done? A lot of people's been asking me, you've been working on it. I've got most of it written. I am going to have Mom go back and go through it to make sure that everything is correct and as it should be as when she was a child. I'm going to try to get some photographs of the old place, maybe, to be able to put in the book so y'all can kind of see where it all happened. I think Mom has some old photos that we can put into the home place, and that way you all will get an idea of what I'm talking about when stuff happened. And I think that would help a lot in the book for everybody to kind of to give a visualization of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sunshine said she was a great camp cook.
There we go. Sunshine.
But you have
There-
to surround her with semi-automatics because she's probably too scared. Yeah. Hey, I think it's a fair trade-off.
Hey, I have realized that being obnoxious can be a gift.
Sure.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. The 19th, we have a surprise guest coming on. I haven't given that name out yet. The 20th will be followed up by D.A. Roberts coming on the show. And then the 22nd will be Lon Strickland coming on the show, guys. So that's what we got lined up right now. And then we'll have Scott Carpenter on as soon as he gets a free day. He's pretty busy. And I think, what was it, Mom? Did you say something? No. All right, I thought she was talking to me.
Tell your mom
All
hi.
right. Mom, CRJ said hi, Jiffy Pop, or whatever you want to call her. We call her a lot of different things around here.
At least he's talking about me. I guess it's a good thing. Oh man.
It's never a bad thing. Harold says nothing but good things about you every time I talk to him.
You better watch out, Pinocchio.
No, he really does. Harold is a very proud and happy man.
Yep.
I'm the one that takes all the abuse. Extra blood pressure medication.
Anyway.
I'm just gonna be quiet.
All right, guys, we're going to jump into the first encounter here. I know everybody's waiting on it.
Yeah, tell a story.
Well, this one here is a I don't even know how to label it. You wouldn't label this a good encounter at all. This is probably one information how to be safe, and that's kind of how they wanted me to put this out. They really struggled with sharing this story with me because it's a bittersweet story for them, and they almost did not do it. They were supposed to talk to me earlier today, and they backed out, and they finally gave me this at the last moment. So I understand why, and you guys will understand as we get into this first encounter. The father's name in this is this happened in Oklahoma also, and OCST, I will send you the location after the show. They said it's fine for me to do that.
Okay.
And you're probably going to know exactly where this is at. So it might be a place y'all might want to go check out.
That'd be cool.
The gentleman's name in this is Jim. The wife's name is Carrie, and then they have they actually have three children. William, Adam, and Jack is the three children. He says, my wife and I are in our late 30s, and what he said he was about to share with me is something very hard. But my wife and I feel that it needs to be told. We lost something that we can never get back that night. Carrie has been my best friend from high school. We dated, and then we married. She is still my rock, my best friend, and my one and only true love.
Aww.
William is our oldest child, and then there is Adam, and then there is Jack. We had all planned on going camping, and we was excited to go. The children had never been on a camping trip, and the children were very, very excited. Jim took them all to Walmart
and he allowed them to pick out all the camping gear, a backpack, from clothes to lighters to knives to cooking utensils to everything. They were going to make this a very memorable first camping trip. They were very excited. They had also purchased a brand new RV, which they were excited to be able, to take it out and try it out.
So they went glamping. Okay.
Yeah, they went clamping.
Cool.
He said, I did some checking and I found us a camping ground. I'm not going to use the real name of this place due to I don't want to make us a target. And I don't mean a target by the cryptids. I mean a target by the people who cover this all up. We are more afraid of them than we are the cryptids. Seems that when people talk too much, people tend to disappear. We're still afraid to share this story, but we feel that it needs to be told. Now, I know the name of this place is a little weird, but it's a nice place in the woods. But it was probably a bad idea that I chose this place. Jack was the youngest child, and he was the most excited to go. He was 8 at the time of the camping trip. Carrie and I, they said, tried to get them there as fast as we could. This place really fills up fast. This is a pretty popular place. It is secluded, but it's a popular place. It does not have many spaces either, so we wanted to make sure that we was able to get this place. And that's whenever Carrie said, the road that they were taking to this place, she said it was narrow, it was winding. And she said there was a lot of trees that hung over the road. There was like a big canopy. And she said, so we're like driving down there and it's beautiful. They're seeing birds and wildlife and they're all excited about this camping trip and everything. And she says the further we drove, it was like daytime. But these trees, she said, were just like, had an ominous feeling to them. It felt like it was like dark down in there. And she said, which gave her kind of a creepy feeling, she said, but she thought it's just because she said, we are city folk. We don't go to the country a lot. So it was different for her, and she said it was just you felt disconnected from society. And she said to a person that doesn't do a lot of camping, it makes you feel disconnected, a little out of your element, Yeah. So she says, I get this bad feeling and, you got these canopy of trees over us and everything, and we're getting down there. She said, Jim's all excited, and she said, while he was driving, Jack, of course, was sitting in the seat and he was laughing and having a great time. And he was enjoying looking at all the trees and everything. He was happy to be traveling. And, they said it just warmed their heart to see how happy he was. He was looking at all the wildlife. They had slowed down to show him the squirrels that were playing in the trees. And it just started out a really great day. She said we was even driving and all of a sudden he just started laughing, she said, and waving at the trees. I question if he was waving at the trees. There's no definitive answer, and it never does, I don't think, quite go into it. But to me, it's almost like he was seeing something in the woods that they probably wasn't seeing, that was probably following them.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
Jim says whenever we finally arrived, Jack was so ready to have some fun. There was a playground with swing sets and other toys. He started begging to go play on them, and that's whenever I told the kids to take off and go play. He said, they all took off and they were playing on the swings and they were sliding down the slides. And he said, I was helping Cassie, do the cooking, and we was barbecuing some food and we were cooking, and it was just a really fun time. And he said, I decided to go play with them over at the swing sets and stuff. She didn't need my help anymore. So he's like, I decided to run down there, and I was going to help the kids swing and play and everything. And he said, whenever I get down there, at one point, Carrie yelled at me for me to come back and help her. And he said, I went back to help her, leaving the kids to play. It had been maybe 15 minutes, he said, and a man arrived at our campsite. He said, this man walks up, and he's an older man. He's in coveralls. And you could tell he had been fishing. He said he had a fishing pole and had his little tackle box and everything. And he said he walks up to us and he's like, introduces himself, and he's really, really friendly and everything. And he says, you shouldn't leave your kids alone here. The woods are hungry. And Jim said that really kind of threw me off guard. And I was like, what do you mean the woods are hungry? Do you mean like there's mountain lions or bobcats or, you know? And the old man looked at him and he said, don't leave your kids alone. And he said, the old man walks off. And he says, I looked at Carrie and I was like, wow, that was weird, you know. I don't know, you know, maybe these people in the country are a little bit different than the people in the city, because that kind of freaked us out, you know. You know, they said it was a little weird for somebody just to walk up and, you know, tell you the woods are hungry. Don't leave your kids alone, you know.
Yeah,
So,
weird.
yeah, they're thinking that, you know, maybe he's watching their kids. So Jim's like, you know, we're watching him to make sure he leaves because we don't know if maybe he's wanting to, you know, talk to our kids, right? So they're kind of like weirded out by this guy.
Well, and technically, I mean, typically, if I could see somebody coming up and saying, you know, don't leave your kids alone. There's animals. There's wild
Right.
animals in the woods, but yeah, the woods are hot. That's creepy.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How close to Arkansas was it?
I'm honestly not familiar with that spot.
Okay.
But I'll send it to you though. Soon as I. I'm guessing you all are probably going to know where it's at. I think it's in your neck of the woods. I'm pretty sure it is.
I have a few ideas of where it might be.
Yeah. I think it's probably not going to be real far from you guys.
Okay.
He said, I think the man, he said, and the man went on his way. He said, it freaked me out. And I was making sure that he didn't mess with the kids, you know. He said, I just had, you know, this feeling that this old man, you know, he was watching the children. So he said, the old man don't even look at the kids, really. The old man walks across and he gets on one, not a motorcycle, not a moped, but he said it's like one of those scooters, like a motorcycle scooter. He said he puts all his stuff on it and he takes off, you know, down the road like he's got somewhere to be, you know, like he's going home. So they really wasn't worried about it. And he says, after I watched the old man drive away, I turn and I notice that I see two of the kids playing on the playground, but I don't see Jack. He said, so I've been sitting here watching this old man drive away and I've took my attention off of the kids and I don't see Jack no more. So he scans the wood line and he says, as I'm scanning the wood line, I finally see Jack. He said he's standing at the wood line and it almost appears as if he's having a conversation with someone in the trees. So I started yelling for him and I started jogging toward him. I had a feeling that I needed to get there and get there quick, he said. Jim said it seemed to take me forever to get to him. When I did, I asked him what he was doing and he said, that hairy man in the woods was sad because he wanted to have fun and no one liked him, and that he was jealous. I was happy and that I was playing and that I had people to play with. Jim said he looked at Jack and he said, I looked at him and then I looked into the woods and I didn't see anything. He said, but it was thick in there. There was a lot of bushes. There was a lot of weeds. He said, and I couldn't see anything inside of there. And he said, but I did hear a twig snap. And he said it was a loud snap. And he said, I just had that feeling when that snapped. We needed to get away from the woods and we needed to get back to the RV. You know, he said, he admitted it. He said, I was scared. He said, I really felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. Something was watching me. And, you know, it was time for me to get the hell back to where I was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim says that night we went to bed. And while we was asleep, we had all went to sleep. And he said that in the camper, there's a bed in the back. So him and his wife had went to bed. And then the kids were on the two bunks. And then they'd laid the table out, I guess, to make it a bed. And he said while we were asleep, he said, I heard Jack sleep, you know, talking in his sleep. He said, so I raised up in the RV and I noticed he was sitting at the table and he had turned the table back into a table. And he had the window open and he was talking to something outside of the window. He said, so I get up and I asked him, he said, I actually kind of yelled at him. And I said, what are you doing and who are you talking to? And he said he looked at me and he closed the window really fast.
Uh-oh.
So Jim said I grabbed my flashlight and I went directly outside with my 38 special that I keep. He said I did not see anyone, but in the woods behind me I heard a whisper. And he said, this is a whisper that will bother me until the day I take my last breath. He said, I will never forget this. He said, this is where he said he has trouble watching my show with the EVPs because of what he heard and what he associates it with, because I get EVPs. He said, the voice said to him, and he said, I will never forget it. But the voice said, you will soon be sad.
That was a threat right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like to do that. They do that. Yeah, I get what he's talking about, though. You hear that stuff all the time when you're out there, Mike.
He said it really bothers him to this day because he associates it with that day. You know, that was supposed to be a good day, you know. So, you know, it really bothered him. And y'all will see why it bothered him as we go, you know, further into this. And if y'all have anything that, you know, you want to add to it or anything that y'all think.
Well, what he heard, like I said, it sounds like a threat. And that's when you need to pack up and go.
Now, prior to this, you said they didn't take into account any of this stuff, or they didn't. Did he know about or believe in that any of this stuff prior to? Okay.
No. They like are Plum City folk that were just ready to go and have fun. You know, go to the big outdoors. You know, the wild outdoors, and
so all of this stuff, considering to somebody that has no clue, unfortunately.
Well, you hear a voice say something like that. I don't care if it's disembodied or not.
Well, but for somebody that doesn't believe in any of that stuff and has not had any inclination of proof, it's kind of hard to. I mean, it's.
And
I think
first instinct of a parent should be, okay,
we're out of here.
We're out of here because I'm not letting anything happen to my kids.
Kind of like what Harold's saying. Even if you don't believe in the cryptids, still, if you relate it to somebody, it's still a red flag. You know, it's still that's a threat. I mean, that's a threat. You know.
Yeah.
Tim asked, "How long ago was it?"
They don't want me to talk about things that can narrow it down to them. They are and it's a great question by Tim, and I would love to tell you, but to respect to people, I'm always very respectful to the people that send me stuff in, and they are scared more of
retaliation,
the powers that be, than they are the cryptids, because
I get it.
You'll find out in a little bit. It gets pretty bad.
Wow.
You know, we'll just go. Jim says, when I went and I started asking Jack who he was talking to, Jack said, it was a hairy man from the woods. He came to the window and he was speaking to me. He said he doesn't like you, Dad. He said you're mean and you won't let me play with him. And he didn't like the way that you looked at him whenever you came to the woods the other day and you made me leave. You made him sad, Dad. And he said because you made him sad, he's going to make you sad.
What the hell?
He said that the hairy man, he said, Dad, the hairy man, whenever he said that, he reached inside of the window and he put his hand around my throat at one point. He wanted me to come outside and play. And I asked him, I said, why did you put your hand around my throat? And he said, I wanted to see how big you was, how much you weighed. He was trying to get his size and weight.
Wow. No way.
Yeah. So Carrie says, I thought that he was having dreams, maybe sleepwalking at the time. So she starts blaming it on him having dreams, and they're thinking that he's sleepwalking.
always believe your child when they tell you they're speaking to someone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, most of the people that are following channels like this is already aware of
Hmm.
the things that are possibly out there. It's the ones that don't have a clue.
That are skeptic or have no idea at all.
Yeah.
Right.
No
Unfortunately.
screens on the windows. No screen on the windows.
Well, she said whenever she told him, she said, I think you're having bad dreams
Oh, sorry.
and maybe you're sleepwalking. So she said, I put him back to bed. And she said, when I put him back to bed, he was very adamant. And he said, I want Dad to protect me because he said he's going to be coming for me. And she said, I told him that he was very safe inside of the camper, that nothing could get to him, and that he would be very safe there. So Jim said, I told him also that he was probably dreaming. That way he wasn't afraid. And I told him it was just a dream. And tomorrow we would all get up and we would go play on the playground and we would have a good time. He seemed to calm down and fall asleep because he got excited about the next day was going to be a fun day. Jim said, this is where our nightmare started. I was cooking with Carrie in the morning. We was making breakfast. The children had went to play over at the playground. Whenever I looked at the children while they were playing, I noticed Jack had left the playground and went back to the edge of the woods. I noticed a man in the woods, but the man in the woods looked a little different. It looked like the man in the woods was a very broad, very tall man that was wearing what looked like an army ghillie suit. He said, I watched Jack walk right over to him, and then Jack took his hand, and the large man led my son into the woods out of sight.
What the heck?
We quickly dialed 911. After that, the police scanned the whole area. There was a large search party. I helped search. There was no sign, and I was also helping. I was very distraught. It has been 14 years since the incident, and the police did manage to find Jack,
Wow.
who was forcefully shoved inside of thorns and was found mangled and decapitated with parts of him missing. My son was deceased when he was found. My two kids are now in high school, and we never really recovered from that fateful day. None of them enjoy the outdoors. I still go to that location, and I still camp there around the same time as the time that we lost Jack. I am ready, if I ever see it again, to get my vengeance on that SOB.
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh.
So very sad ending at that encounter.
So I don't know if did they say they'd be watching or not?
He didn't say.
Okay,
I don't know.
so if they are watching, that's horrific, and we're sorry to hear that their son got what happened to him happened. And prayers still to this day, right?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That is
What the heck?
Very, very sad. You know, you hear about other children that end up going missing into the woods and carried off or supposedly carried off where parents turn their backs and they don't know. But the fact that he actually saw it is even, I mean, I got chills. That is horrible. I couldn't imagine.
You know what really bothered me? I don't know why. It was just one of the things that's really hard for me. Is the way he talked about how he watched it take its hand and walk off out of sight into the woods. That's probably the hardest part for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine how helpless he felt to see that happening and not be able to cover the ground fast enough to get there. You know, I can only imagine. it's almost like whatever it was kind of done it on purpose to show the dad, ha, I have him.
Yep.
Well, if it's the same thing, it said that he's going to be sad, and I'm not trying to make light of it or nothing, but
And that's what I thought too. Exactly what you're saying is, it said you're going to be sad, and then the kid said, that it was mad
it
because
was mad.
it had made it sad, and it was going to make the dad sad back because it didn't like the way it looked at him and made him take the child. So, I mean, there is nothing good in these things, people. There is nothing good in them. I mean, that angers me a lot.
I second what Michelle just said. I would have left after the first time I heard that whisper. I mean,
Right.
city people, I mean, I get that they want to have a good time out in the woods or whatever. And I'm not making light of this. And they've had this all planned and they wanted to go out and have a good time out in nature. And I understand that. But when all that stuff started happening, I would have said, heck no, I'm out of here. I wouldn't. And I would have made some stupid excuse to the little kid, Jack, and say, we're going to do something a little bit different after all of that came down the pipe. I wouldn't have, I don't know. But then again, I'm a city slicker. I wouldn't have.
But, not to make light of the situation or anything, but you've heard stories about mentally ill people doing the same thing where they would take a child because they feel a connection with the child and they don't know any better. They're like taking the child because they found somebody they connected with, and then they get mad at the parents of the child because they get stopped from being able to be around the child, and then they end up kidnapping the child, and bad things happen. Well, I would say that it's quite possible, even with the Bigfoot, have one of them have a mental disability to where they have the mind of a child, and they're wanting someone to play with, but they're not normally around children, so to speak. So they get fascinated with the child, and then they end up doing what happened. I can see that happening.
Yeah, because it's kind of like when they find somebody and they do they like imprint on somebody or whatever they do, they become very possessive of that person. And it's almost like whatever was in the woods, and if we speculate the kid was waving at it, it had already imprinted on him because, I mean, from the time they had got there, it was him that it was, contacting. And it was like it got mad at the dad because the dad took him away from it. It kind of felt like it had a possession of that child. Mm-hmm. And because you took the child, now you made me sad because I couldn't play with him. So this is your payback. Almost like you said, like a child mentality, like it threw a fit. It was very vengeful, just evil.
Interrupted his plans, and and it just makes me think too. You hear so many stories where people say, "Oh well, they're not all bad. They're not all evil. They've done things to help, or they saved my life, or they saved my dog animal's life, or But all in all, you can't. You can't trust them.
No.
You might have had a situation, or you might hear a story where something good happened. Something maybe intervened and saved you from that moment. But you can't think that the next one is going to be that same one, or that caring one, or that one that's going to step in and help you, because chances are, oh no, these are not good beings. They're not here to help us.
I think they tolerate us. I
Yeah.
think some of them have a higher tolerance for us than others. You know,
Yeah.
some are, they got worse tempers than others. Some are like, I'll let that guy pass. I don't want the trouble of being hunted down or whatever. As long as he doesn't bother me, he can go on. Then you got the other one. It's like, I can't stand people. And you know what? If I can get this guy, hurt this guy, scare. I think they love to scare you. It doesn't always mean that they're going to hurt you, but I believe they love to scare you. I think they get a thrill out of just scaring you.
Well, and what's to say? I mean, everybody has a bad day. What's to say that you don't come across one of these things who might not normally care, but is just having a real bad day that day, and maybe it was
Or
maybe it was on your property and it has been somewhat nice, and now it's just having a really bad day.
Somebody pee-peed in their Cheerios.
yeah. I mean, what if you get a rogue one that's been shunned or kicked out of a group?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
And now, he's rogue and he's shunned and he's mad and then what if he runs into some more of them that are rogue and shunned and they all decide, you know what?
Let's make a clan.
Yeah, we're going to have our own group and we're not going to put up with anybody or anything.
Yeah.
Is that where the special groups come in that hunt them down? When you get these rogue groups, is that where they have to be dealt with?
Yeah, you hear about that a lot where
Special forces coming in.
they've had there's been rogue Bigfoot clans or tribes,
Mhm.
and they get hunted down by another tribe because it's either a territorial thing or it's just the fact that that group's running amok and the one group has to put a stop to it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say it's the same. I would compare it to if you go out into the wild, say you're in the wilds of Africa with lions and elephants and stuff. Yeah, you hear stories sometimes of people coming across a wild lion that doesn't just outright attack you,
Right.
might walk past you and think, whew, thank God I survived that. But it doesn't mean every single one of them is going to just walk right past you. You're not going to go up and, jump on and give that fuzzy little mane a hug because next one
Yeah.
could
Well,
very well, yeah.
You talked about like in Africa. Well, lions. Okay,
Yeah.
when you have a rogue lion that comes
Mhm.
into a group of lions and they try to show dominance and then they get in a fight, but then they get driven out, right? And in the process, they end up offing one of the elder lions. Okay, then the females of that group will actually go and hunt down that rogue lion. They'll go off after it and they won't come back until they've hunted down that lion. So if it can happen in the wild in Africa, it can happen in the wild in the United States.
Oh yeah.
Or wherever these, yeah. I mean, they're wild. I mean, again, they tolerate us. I don't think they like us.
So yeah, we all know that there's Bigfoot out there that are aggressive. They're they're not kind to anyone. They're not accepting of anyone. They just want their territory, and if you step in their territory, you're going to hear from them.
Mhm.
So I can imagine one that might not have quite the mental capabilities of your average Bigfoot, but yet being aggressive towards something that is not a Bigfoot, even though it's coaxing the child to come in, but at the same time is threatening his parents. So the only option for that Bigfoot is, okay, you made me mad, so I'm gonna make you mad.
Right.
that's the human aspect of it. That's the bad side of the human aspect of it, is a lot of similarities in that, because we have people that act the same way.
Yeah. My daughter used
His
to do that growing up. She'd get mad at me for, she'd do something wrong and I'd send her to her room. So what would she do? She'd punch a hole in her wall or something, Why'd you do that? Well, you made me mad, so now you gotta fix it. It's I mean, yeah, she was a kid, but yeah, that's same thing.
and they blamed it on coyotes. There was some people asking, it was blamed on coyotes, and I call BS on that, because we know coyotes. That's just not coyotes.
No.
Did you see what White Wolf asked? There was a question there too from
Yeah,
White Wolf.
what the authorities said.
Yeah, how did they explain it to the authorities? And did it make the news? Did they say? I don't know.
I don't know if it made the news, but if I was to go into that, then I would be somewhat giving them away as to who they are. So I don't have that information, but they did say that they blamed it on coyotes. That was that's what their conclusion was.
Okay.
And they were gracious enough after it happened, Harold, that they sent in these people and they trapped and killed all the coyotes out there.
Mm.
So you took the creature's food source away? I'm sorry.
I think they probably went and took the creature away and
Yeah.
said they got rid of the coyotes.
Mhm.
Well, but yeah. That's okay.
Sometimes I think they hide under that flag, of,
Yep.
oh, we're just predator controlling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just off a few coyotes and be like, look, we got rid of the problem.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, you're getting rid of the actual problem.
Like somebody mentioned, about Dennis Martin. Man, there are so many stories on Dennis Martin that I've read. It's just crazy. I mean, did you all see where they brought the Special Forces guy on and what he said about Dennis Martin? Did you all ever get to see that interview? They removed it from YouTube. That's actually removed from YouTube.
Really?
He said that they did not go in to rescue Dennis. They went in to make sure Dennis didn't come out.
What?
Because they said he had seen too much. Their job was to take care of Dennis and what was in there. And this is what he said, that whenever they done away with what they done away with, they burned it. And he said they burned the child with the creatures. It's been removed from YouTube now. But yeah, it was on there.
Oh, wow.
Because he had seen too much. There was no way they was going to let him come out of there and talk about what had grabbed him.
Mhm.
Pink Pixie said cover up.
Every one of them, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, if you start scaring people away from going into our national parks, can you imagine the loss of revenue?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I always ask the other question too. So it could go one extreme or the other, the loss of revenue, or if they were to openly admit that these things are out there and that they're dangerous and they're, but they can be killed, how many people would round up the town and their friends and everybody they can with, whatever weapons they can carry on their back and go out there and just start. I mean, you have something like that starting and people going, yeah, they're out here. I mean, you're not just looking at them doing mass killing of whatever's running around in the woods, but you could end up shooting other human beings and just, pure chaos and bloodshed.
Well, imagine if they were to admit it, just the liability aspect and the lawsuits that would come in and what that would cost if they were to admit that we knew these creatures were there, but we failed to inform you. They would go bankrupt in a matter of days.
Well, I don't think it would be any different than they would still pass the blame or pass the buck on, much like they've done with the alien disclosures. I mean, how many people lost their lives to shut them up from the government for years and years, and now they're saying, "Oh yeah, they're real. They're out there."
Yeah, I get it. Hey,
I mean,
Pink. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I answer Pink's question quick?
yeah, I'm looking up something. I'm gonna send you and Harold a message in just a second. You tell me if you know where it's at.
Okay. Hey, Pink. Go add me on Facebook, and then I can get you the link to Harold's OCST page. Okay. I'll send you an invite right to it if you add me to Facebook.
Yeah, if you type in Harold,
Yeah.
it's gonna pop up Harold Eugene Milam, and then I have a Facebook page, a group page that says OCST.
Yeah.
So both of them are connected.
We got you, Pink. We're trying to get it to you. We promise. We look for it today.
Oh, I didn't see this. Don said Dennis's remains were found in a cave with ferals.
That was also one of the things that was released. It is.
Okay.
Yep. There was a few that the special forces guy. It wasn't out long. It was out for just a little while because the guy was walking in a cemetery whenever he told everything. There you go, Harold. I sent you the name. See if you know that name. But yeah, it was he walked the whole time in a cemetery whenever he gave all the information. He even said that Dennis Martin's family, like a generation back or so, were actually hired to go into that park to hunt these creatures, and they thought that it might have been a payback thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Anybody? I'm sorry. Answering in the chat, and yes, go ahead. Send me a friend request. I'll.
Don't say it out loud, but
Okay, I'm not. I won't.
And yeah, Starfire, I think they think they're dealing with aliens instead of demons. And I'm surprised more and more people are actually starting to come around and go,
Do you know
yeah,
anything?
I don't believe these are actually aliens. These are demons.
yeah, that place is nearby us.
I thought it might be.
Ooh, camping trip.
Might be a place y'all can go check out.
Sure, Jess. When you come down here, let's do it.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, let me know how it goes, and then I'll camp out there with you.
I'm not doing it without backup, girlfriend.
If it was to be done, I think it would be nice to be able to at least be able to maybe get Jim some answers. I mean, he goes there every year at around the same time, and he hasn't seen anything in 14 years. So,
Yeah.
Well, if somebody went in and got rid of all the coyotes, that's probably one of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You would think sooner or later something would move in, especially with the way they talk about they have a collective mindset and they talk to each other or they know what's going on. You'd think somebody
Yeah,
or
but
these things would.
also those things, knowing that if they go back there, the same thing could happen to one of them.
True. Warning: heavy bear activity signs.
yeah. Yeah, I think that they don't always tell us the truth for sure. Hello, Judy. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi, Judy.
I can't imagine standing there cooking and watching something take the hand and walk off into the woods.
I'm kind of curious of why he didn't call Jack back from. He was 8, right? Or is he was Jack just so, I know some kids go squirrel and they're like, oh, I've got a playmate now, and I understand that, and they just ignore their parents. And I know an 8, 9-year-old little girl with attitude can do that, but
Right.
But I was like, why didn't he say, hey, Jack, come back to Dad. Come back. Come over here. You can't go out in the woods. Come here.
Right.
I'm curious. That kind of shocked me after he said he just watched him. I'm like,
But at the same time too, you're in a. I mean, I used to go camp. I camped all the time as a kid with my parents. I would wander off down the trails and not think twice because it was the time that I grew up also,
Right.
but we were in campgrounds.
I would say if I
Campgrounds are
was
supposed to be safe, right?
Right?
if I was a guessing person, I would say that it probably forcefully had a hold of his arm at the point of it wasn't just holding hands.
I guess,
Right.
yeah. Okay.
And I would say that whenever they probably got out of sight, that he was probably
Mhm.
Okay.
was pretty fast. It probably didn't.
You could
And then-
probably think about it, right? And just,
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah,
I understand. Yeah.
we need to ask prayers for Qbot.
Yeah.
I do have Qbot on my list. I
Yes,
said
you
Qbot.
do.
Yeah,
Yes,
Prayers.
Qbot, you are in our prayers.
Qbot. I am so sorry you're going through that.
yeah.
Much love to you and prayers, most definitely.
They if you watch the 411, which I'm a fan of those, it almost seems like that whenever the children are taken, that I don't think they take them and play with them for a long period of time. I think that once they get them, it's over. And I think that the ones that they do find that are alive, I think the only reason they find them alive is because these things have such a high IQ. They know, okay, a smaller town that has a smaller search and rescue team and everything, it may take them a while to get everybody rounded up to do a search. But if you have a town that has a fast, plan reaction and they get out there, that creature might be like, oh God, their perimeter's ahead of me. They're going to find me. So if they find this child, they're going to call that search off and we're going to be okay. So they make sure that child is found. That way they're able to escape. But man, if that search is slow,
Yeah.
they're like, we've already got them, And if
Well,
you look at,
you think about how quick something like that can happen. You hear stories about people walking down a trail, a group of people, and they're walking in single file down a trail, and they're all talking and on their phones, looking around, filming, and then someone goes to talk to the one that's in the back, and then all of a sudden, there's nobody there.
right.
They don't even hear it happen
I'll be right back.
a lot of the times.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
And how fast that these things are able to move in the woods also, people don't take that into accountability. They, you give them a few minutes and they can be hundreds of yards from you. Just
Yeah.
like deer, deer can move fast. I mean, they can make a lot of time.
Yeah.
And if you walk past a den, if they got a covered den or tunnel system, grab you, pull you right inside of there, and you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also think about this, if they do have the ability to cloak, do they also have the ability to cloak whatever they're carrying?
Oh, yeah. Like that thing we thought we saw the other night. If those were wings and it was able to cloak, what if it just wrapped the wings around whatever it had and just cloaked?
Mm-hmm. So,
Well, it kind of leads you to also the whole, theory that, like I was saying the other night, is they have, and again, I've heard other stories and accounts where they have said that they've captured these creatures, and that's where they have been able to create a lot of the military stuff for, like,
Mhm.
the night vision and everything, whether it's from reverse engineering, so quote unquote alien technology, or reverse engineering what these cryptids are able to see and do with their own eyesight, and they've been able to mimic that.
Yeah.
So if they are also cloaking, is that where our military has been able to come up with the same type of technology in cloaking, whether it be
Well, I mean, if you go down that rabbit hole, you can look at it like this too. You can look at it as like what my granny had told me. She looked at me and said, well, some of them fly. They look at our stealth bombers and everything and how they're, undetected and how the shapes of them and stuff. Are these things really flying? And if they're flying, if they was to swoop down and grab a child and fly off, how many people, when your children go missing, look up?
Right.
Nobody looks up.
I still have that issue when I'm going out and doing my own night investigations. Every once in a while, yeah, I'm looking up, but I'm still having it. It's that trained thought that you're always looking eye level or down on the ground, and it's hard to retrain your mind to think looking up in the trees. What's above you?
Right. Even if we, as humans, even if we look into the trees, we still don't look into the open sky because we're just nothing is supposed to be there, And how many times you remember that one night when I was out? It sounded like something with big wings flew right over the top of me.
Yep.
And I don't know if y'all remember this. I don't know if OCST was in the chat that night. Do y'all remember the night whenever I strobed the sky with Sarah and that big thing flew over us?
Yeah.
I don't think she'll ever let me forget that.
I believe we were in that.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe we were there.
I think
So-
I was starting to say, I see something behind you. Go. I think that we may have to experiment more on that, Harold, about strobing the sky to see if that brings anything in.
Yeah.
I've heard there is some studies on that, and
CE5.
we may have to strobe the sky. Maybe where I found that spook light, we can go down there and strobe the sky.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jessica?
You should definitely do that.
She waved
That
back.
would, I'm sure that would probably.
You should try strobing the sky, but also if one of those orbs shows up, I would try doing the strobe
Oh yeah.
towards it, see what reaction you get.
Hey,
Get
Christy,
it.
what was that comment we were saying about why men end up having a less life expectancy than women because they do stupid things? Yeah. Okay.
That'd be funny if you could strobe it and all of a sudden the spook light runs into a tree because you disoriented it.
Or you strobe it and then they come and go.
Yeah, it comes right at you. That'd be even worse.
Or you strobe it and then it gets caught in the middle of a transformation and it keeps going from one
Oh,
thing to
yeah.
another.
And glitching.
Yeah. Or it strobes you, or it starts strobing you back, but even brighter.
Oh my, that would be good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good for anybody watching that had epilepsy.
No. And then your radiation detector goes off the scales.
Yeah.
That'd be a real bad night. I think what we're going to do tonight, I know Harold's tired. I'm tired. I don't think we're going to go into the second one tonight, guys, because it is a lot longer encounter. And it would probably take us another 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And
Mike?
I'll be asleep. I'll be sitting here.
My knee would not love that. So.
I don't think my back would love me for that. But I think what we'll do is we'll go into it another night. It's a good one, and I'll kind of give a teaser out. It's a boy that was caught in his grandpa's barn that was being attacked by a werewolf, and he's seen it quite a bit, and he had a huge ordeal with it inside of this barn trying to escape it. So it's a really good one. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, sounds like
Interesting. Oh, and by the way, Cammy's eating my popcorn, y'all.
Uh-oh.
See, look,
And no,
they're talking- Oh, go
and no
ahead.
tacos.
I'm not at work today. I didn't go to work today.
Yeah, she didn't go to work today because Colton had a doctor's appointment and everything's good with his knee. He still has to keep it in the brace and for roughly another 5 weeks because he's been in it for a week already, and he hates it, but he has to keep it straight so the little wire thing that they placed in his knee won't bust and it'll be worse.
It's
Ew.
fall through his meniscus.
Right.
Or it'll leave a hole.
Right.
And it'll be a bigger surgery.
Right. What she said.
Oh.
So yeah.
But tell Dad what I was telling you, Mom. Because I won't let it go until you tell him.
Okay. Well, everybody's watching me.
Go ahead, I don't care.
Okay. Yes, it's a Bigfoot thing.
So just-
Obviously abnormal. Tammy said when she had Bear outside earlier, babe, that it was still daylight out there, and Bear pointed, and then
I'm gonna be going
tried
outside.
to get her attention by nudging her to
Uh-oh.
come on or to go, or he
Yeah.
saw something. The dog, Bear.
Sounds
He felt
Might-
something or pointed, and so yeah, it'd be
might have a visitor.
Time
We
to get the
might.
night vision goggles.
Yep.
Like,
Well, Harold, tell everybody where they can find you and when you're going to be on next and what you're up to. And I'll let you get out there. I know you're probably excited to catch something too, and let her rest her knee too. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in too much trouble.
Yeah. You can find us on Facebook under if you look up Harold Eugene Milam, you'll also see the link on my page for OCST, Oklahoma Cryptid Search Team. I have the Facebook page, group page, and then I also have the OCST business page, which is also linked to my main account. And then you can find us on TikTok. It's OK Cryptids. It's at OK Cryptids on TikTok. And then of course CRJ Designs on YouTube. She's also
I believe. Well, my name is Christy Jurina, Jurina, but if you find me there, and then I could, I have a CRJ Design group page with that, and then I also have like a group chat. So,
yeah, you guys can also
Yeah.
you can get a hold of us on Messenger.
come find us.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Like that song, Everywhere, man.
I have CRJ on it. It's just my personal, but I don't do anything with TikTok. So
Jess Romans wants to know if you're going live tomorrow night.
I was just gonna say that. Yes, I'm going live 9:00, like always. I just don't know if I'm going live boots on the ground or live behind the camera or behind the computer desk. I'm not quite sure yet.
okay. Well, either way, we'll be there for you, girlfriend.
Thanks.
It looks like I'm going to be going outside right after this.
All right, OCST, Harold, Christy, I'm going to let y'all run. I know you got things you're wanting to do. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure. And we'll do the werewolf one another night. We'll jump into it. But we always appreciate you guys. Hope you all find something tonight, too. Let us know if you do.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be posting something. Even if I don't find anything, I'm gonna still put up some footage if I end up filming. So
Hey, Dana.
Awesome.
Dana Ortega, he's always inside. It was when she was letting him go outside to go to the potty. So, yeah.
Spoiled.
I have to go outside to do the business, man. It just
That's the way ours is. Ours are spoiled.
I'll go hang out with the cats because cats know what I'm looking for, so they hang around me and watch me.
Just don't die out there because cats don't wait to eat you. They'll eat your toes immediately.
I swear, my cat, he tests me at night just to make sure I'm still alive. 'Cause if I twitch, then he knows he's got to wait.
All right, Harold and Chrissy, I'm going to let y'all run again. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you all on the show. We really do appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you for having us on again.
All right. Good night, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
for everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, tonight was a bitter story. It's not one of the ones I like to tell, but
No,
they
that
are.
really did give me
They're
chills. That
yeah,
really.
they're important, but man, they're hard. They're just not. I like the ones where they get away. That's the ones I like. But that was a hard part about my job too. When I worked, is I always liked the good stories. You never liked the bad stories. But it seems that you have more bad ones than you do good ones, and that's what sucks.
Unfortunately.
It's a cruel world, and it's not just the cryptids that are mean. Trust me, I know several that are just as evil as the cryptids, if not worse than the demons. And pretty sure they're led by demons and have huge attachments. And all we can do is pray for them. That's all we can do.
Well, anybody that's used to cryptids and knows anything about them, though, it's kind of to be expected. It's the people out there that you just think you know and you don't.
Yeah, evil.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'll let you start walking us out of this one. I'm shutting down stuff. I am tired tonight. I am tired.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like to just reiterate again, everybody, please keep in your prayers Connie, Barton and Letitia Nunley, Lisa Ann's sister Carolyn, Cubot, Randy Petticourt, and Tony Merkel and Lindsay Merkel. Also, Sharon, her granddaughter, is sick tonight, and Lisa Ann's friend Tammy as well. She's in the hospital for the next 3 days. So everybody, you can keep everyone in your prayers tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing and your comments, your support, your donations. Appreciate each and every single one of you for being here. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So for that, thank you very much. God bless. Stay safe. And we will see you next time.
All right, guys. I want to thank y'all for being here, supporting me. It's always a pleasure to be able to present these stories to you guys, the best subscribers on the internet, or the interweb, if you want to call it, like some of the older people out here do. But it's always a pleasure to have you all here. I enjoy your comments after the show. I go in and read them, and of course answer and talk to you guys. Our channel, and I call it our channel, we are growing, guys. We are back. The algorithms are back up. When we was attacked with Hunter, you all know we took a large hit because of the lies, and we sunk. The algorithm right now, guys, we're like that close to being higher than we've ever been. Our numbers are higher than we've ever been. Thank you, Tyler, for that. We are growing again. We're in a big growth. We're gaining about 100, 150 people a week. So the growth is up a lot. The algorithms are kicking in. People have seen the lies. I've got a lot of our old people, a lot of our first people that were on my show have come back. I'm seeing their faces now. It's a joy to reconnect. And it's a pleasure. And most of all, guys, glory to God. I gave it to God and told God, this is yours. I'm just a vessel. And he brought the people, he brought the numbers, he brought me new people, better people, he brought me you guys, he brought me the people that needed to be here, and I'm grateful for that. He is going to reconnect me and Hunter. He's already done it. I proclaim it, I confess it, I receive it, and it's going to happen in Jesus' name. And I ask you all to stand with me on that in Jesus' name, that it's already done. We're just waiting to claim it. Guys, it's always my pleasure to be here. We're going to continue to grow and go. We're going to continue with the boots on the ground. And as always, God bless you guys. And I look forward to your purple hearts and the green hearts and all the other kind of hearts that came out there. I appreciate those in the comments after the show for sure. And as always, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. That way we can see you on the next one. Take care. Love your family. Make memories. Good night. God bless.
Good night, everyone.